Merry Triple Xmas, guys, and my gift to you is you finally get a new episode. Hey guys, and welcome to Rotting Flesh Movie Reviews. I'm your host, Billy Pop. It has indeed been a long-ass time. Shout out to my friend Toddy Walnuts. I wanted to tell him that I'm very stoked he watched and enjoyed my last upload. But I'm sorry to say there will not be a part 2, Todd, as I've lost the video content. I had way too much stuff to do and to show off, so what I'm going to do is like a shelf-by-shelf overview of everything I own eventually. For now, let's talk about the future of Rotting Flesh. I'm changing the format again. I started the show using movie clips until my editing system started crapping out on me. So then I was doing reviews without video clips and completely without a script. I'm happy to say those days are gone. Now when I do reviews, I will no longer be showing video clips, but I'll be reviewing specific editions of movies. This might help you decide whether or not you want to purchase the particular version I'm watching. I will talk about special features as well as maybe give out some fun facts. Let's begin. It is indeed the month of December, but maybe we should change it to Dismember because we only like horror on this channel. I decided the first movie to review this month would be Black Christmas. Bob Clark has made a few Christmas movies, including the cult favorite A Christmas Story. However, that never really caught my interest. His 1974 slasher film, Black Christmas, seemed far more intriguing to me. I want to say I did a review for this movie quite a while ago on my old show, Strictly Sick Movie Reviews. When I first watched Black Christmas, I actually thought it was really boring. But back then I was also working 16-hour days and was a bit overtired most of the time. I think this time I'll have better things to say. That this is the first slasher movie ever made, and it's Canadian. It's not the definitive slasher movie like Halloween was, but it's definitely worth mentioning. I have the Seasons Grievings edition. I love the slipcover along with the kick-ass cover art underneath. Yep, a little bit of glare there. It also has this cool little excerpt from Rue Morgue magazine on the inside. Ta-da! I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to watch and review this. Are you ready, guys? How about you, little Dickie?
I was born ready, my sweet. Let us relish in the undeniable horror.
Well, hell, that's good enough for me. Little creepy, but right on. After the title screen and the credits roll on by, we get a villain's eye view of an awesome-looking house that they filmed at, as he climbs up the wall into the girls' sorority house, into the upstairs window, and into the attic. As the movie starts, I automatically recognize Kathy Lutz from the Amityville Horror. Margot Kidder plays Barb, the sorority house waste case loudmouth. Mind you, I always thought she seemed kind of drunk in the Amityville Horror as well. Especially in that scene where the babysitter is trapped in the closet. Watch it. This is what she sounds like to me.
Why didn't you open the door? You heard Jackie knocking.
Mind you, they were partying in the scene before that at a wedding, so... Anyway, the phone rings, and we get another recognizable star. Olivia Hussey plays Jess. She's kind of a strong woman-type character, our main character, actually. She answers the phone, and the girls listen to some guy, or what sounds like many guys, masturbate while jamming plastic spoons into his fart box.
I'm gonna lick your greasy asshole because you work at A&W and I'm gonna be greasing your dick hole.
Jesus! These phone calls are frequent throughout the movie. It has a very When a Stranger Calls type feel. Actually, but that came out in 79, so I guess When a Stranger Calls has a very Black Christmas type feel. Is this the actual original Scream movie? Think about that. So far, I feel like it was influenced a little bit by Psycho and influenced films like Halloween, Scream, and When a Stranger Calls. Cool, eh? Barb isn't fazed at all by the phone calls, but Jess and the other girls seem kind of disturbed. The caller often mentions the name Billy. I'm the killer. We're introduced to a hilarious house mother that is constantly sneaking bumps of hard in various areas of the sorority house. She even hides it in the toilet. I guess she's a true blue fucking Canadian. By the way, if you're ever wanting to get stoned and not let anyone know, tell your buds, hey, you wanna go get Canadian? Pass the fucking Dutchie, eh? Our first victim, Claire, is killed off right away, suffocated with plastic. The killer puts her corpse in a rocking chair in the attic and puts it by the window, which I believe is our Psycho reference. We see this corpse a few times throughout the film, still bound in plastic. The next day, everyone is wondering where she is, and we meet another familiar face. John Saxon, who's known for being Nancy's police officer dad in A Nightmare on Elm Street, is also a police officer in this movie. Claire's father comes to pick her up for Christmas, but nobody knows where she is because she's fucking dead. Jess meets up with her boyfriend, and we find out she's Prego sauce and she doesn't want to keep it. Back then, this was apparently a fairly controversial topic, especially because her boyfriend thinks it's wrong to get an abortion, but she doesn't give two fucks. I guess this adds to her strong female role. By the way, her boyfriend plays this insanely cool song on the piano, and as strange and as eerie as the song is, for an encore, he destroys a perfectly good piano like a fucking asshole. Fuck, I hate people who break shit when they're angry. Like, destroying shit will resolve anything. But I guess I respect people's shit, especially when it's, not mine, someone else's. What a prick. It was meant to make him look unstable and like he could possibly be the killer, but I never bought that. He's too much of a dramatic whiner to ever kill anybody. I do want to say that the killer has a serious flip out at one point in the attic, and it's a damn good thing no one was in the house because holy fuck was he loud. We also find out a 13-year-old girl went missing. Just to add in there, I guess, for more discomfort for our characters, they end up finding her murdered, of course. Jess's boy toy has a toy story. He wants to quit doing school and marry Jess. She tells him to take a hike, jump in the lake, take a flying fuck, and do a running goat. John Saxon and the other pigs are told that the sorority house is getting sexy phone calls. The donut-munching fascists put a bug on their phone. We get a few pretty iconic death scenes, which don't break blood entirely, but they're very effective each time. The next time the killer calls, he says word for word what Jess's boyfriend was saying to her, further trying to make him out to be the killer. The pigs figure out that the house calls are coming from within the house. Jess confronts our killer, and he looks like this. Most disturbing, mysterious eyeball ever. The film ends with Jess's boyfriend dead at the hands of our main girl. No one knows if he was the killer or not, except the audience. The motherfucker is still alive in the attic. I'm going to start off by saying the transfer on this is pretty good. I don't know what it was shot on, but you can see shakiness and imperfections in the film, even though it has clearly been restored. All in all, it's very watchable. I've grown to love this Christmas classic, and watching it in this format has been pretty great. Not to mention, I think Anchor Bay blew it out of the park on this edition with features. They clearly care about this film, and it shows. Bob Clark did a great job directing the movie. The point of view shots during the kill scenes, along with the total feel of Christmas, is amazing. From the moment the film starts till it ends, it bleeds holiday spirit. They even open the credits with a Christmas carol. The direction here is done with love. I also should mention that this is a Canadian production, and damn if it doesn't look like Christmas time in hell most of the time. It looks so cold outside, especially when the search party is looking for the missing kid. You can see their breath, and they all look freezing. The writing relies on mystery that almost isn't there, though, which gets to be a bit silly at times, especially when Jess's BF Peter is around or making decisions. The acting is okay, but I have to say I was expecting a little more out of Olivia Hussey. She was just kind of boring for an important character. Whoever played the killer is fucking awesome, though. You can tell that some of the cast is totally Canadian, by the way. They couldn't act their way to their fucking culture, hey? The characters are memorable, half the time annoying, though. Margot Kidder's portrayal of Barb was on point, but it was an annoying character that really was just there to try to be interesting, while failing in my humble opinion. Jess was lame. The house mother was entertaining, and aside from the killer, probably my favorite character. The dialogue was actually pretty believable, if not forced a little bit by Margot Kidder. However, it usually drives the story forward a little bit, so I won't pick at it. The sets were beautiful. The lighting was done extremely well and relied on this in most of the suspenseful scenes. Christmas lighting being fucking awesome in this. The special features are next to nil, but this isn't a gory slasher flick, so I'll forgive that. The music is mostly Christmassy, but they managed to use it in very dark ways, which totally pays off. I'm not going to go by the soundtrack, but it was okay. The best song being the one Peter plays that I mentioned earlier. They used that music in the menu. They used that music as the menu music. I thought that was a good choice. Now let's move on to special features. We get Black Christmas new documentary. I guess that's all it's called. Here are some facts I find interesting. The Elvis Presley family watches it every Christmas, as did Elvis Presley. The film started holiday horror as we know it now. The original title was Stop Me. It might not have made its impact if it wasn't called Black Christmas. Apparently this movie influenced My Bloody Valentine as well. In that movie, the killer was named Bob instead of Bill. I guess we know the formula for the franchise. Never use generic names for your killer. In 1974, apparently this film was taboo. There was Barb giving booze to children and potty-mouthed Santa. It all shocked people, I guess. One of the dudes in the documentary is intensely Canadian for sure. He's the scrawny gray-haired guy. The guy with the beard is Canadian too. 5 facts is good enough. We get photo galleries, scripts, and trailers, but we also get some archival content. In this, we get a question and answer, commentaries, trailers. We get another documentary called 12 Days of Black Christmas, hosted by John Saxton. Olivia Hussey is cool, I've noticed. She really appreciates where she came from as much as I wasn't a fan of her acting in this. John Saxton has never watched Halloween or Friday the 13th. By the way, I'm giving you more facts I learned. We get Black Christmas Revisited with Claire and Chris from the movie. They're very old and I know they're trying to be goofy, but we know they totally fucked and probably did it again directly before this documentary. I was actually very annoyed and disgusted after watching this. They were kind of drunk, I'm assuming. I'm going to change that to they were very drunk. Oh no, the Seasons Grievings edition of Black Christmas is awesome. It had great documentaries that were very informative and a movie that to me stands the test of time to be one of the best Christmas movies ever to exist. On a Christmas horror scale, I'd give it a 9, but based on just horror, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I watch this flick every year and it's my favorite Christmas movie so far. Tell me what your favorite Christmas flick is. Till next time, I'm Billy Pop, and suck my ass, Jared Leto. You suck at the Joker.
That Magic Production.